very cloudy, rainy, and windy day today. So it's a good day to work inside. Today we're going to clean up the studio. And we'll do a couple other things. Depending on how the day goes, we might go out to the apple cider mill. It's already a little after 2 o'clock. Didn't get up very early today. So we got a bit of a late start. But we'll see how much we can do. If we put in a good 2 or 3 hours here, we can certainly take a break and then come back later. In fact, it probably would be more constructive that way. So, what I want to do is get all this stuff cleared out of here so this table is usable. I want to get all this stuff cleared out of here so this table is usable. I don't want any miscellaneous junk on that table. And I want to be able to see the floor over here. And that would be a big improvement. So, the first thing we're going to do is deal with the pedestal fans. Pedestal fan storage is not something I've been able to find a lot of commentary on. I can find some commentary on ceiling fan storage, but not much about pedestal fans. And that's kind of unfortunate because pedestal fans are difficult to store. They take up a lot of space, they're bulky, probably followed next by box fans, but at least the box fans are easily stacked and they can be stored pretty compact. So I have developed a method for pedestal fan storage which works for me. It's not going to work for everybody depending on the different locations, but it works pretty well for me. So we'll go through and show that. And then once we get the pedestal fans out of here, there's a lot of Christmas stuff over there that can go on the other side. And then we'll just have to sift through this stuff over here, but that has different things that needs to be done with it. So I need to get the bench cleared off so I can take these apart. The bearing pullers, this has a place. Put that in its place. A couple other things I gotta film over here for Christmas, and then I can put all this Christmas stuff away. Or not away, but somewhere else. No point putting it away, we're going to need it in a few weeks. We've got about, let's see, 2 to 3 weeks before decorations start to hit the house. So we're closing in on that time. That's part of why I need to clean up the other side too, because I need somewhere to put all the Christmas stuff when I pull it out. And just unplug this here. That can go into the garage, or that can go into the garage. This has a place, so I'll put those over here for now. Okay. That we can maybe use for something else someday. So for the pedestal fans, what I typically do is I remove the fan part itself from the pedestal and make sure this nut doesn't disappear. So tighten that down a little bit. And then we take the pedestal and I'll close this as much as it can close. And then we're going to get some paper. I like to use, this is actually drywall tape for this kind of stuff because it's very tear resistant. the labels don't tend to fall off. And we're going to label this pedestal according to the model of the fan. This is a little tedious and time consuming, and it's not the quickest way to get the things back out, but I think it's the best option. So this one is a Shell SF16, and this one is white. Okay, so this is now ready to go where we're going to put it. Now it's important that we tie up the cords as well. I forgot to do that on this one. This one is the Holmes Group HASF 1516. It's not a good spot to put the label on this one because it can kind of move around no matter what we do. Maybe I'll put it up here. Yeah, that'll work. Oh boy, here we go with this thing again, the wind dance. I still got to finish repairing this. I think the medium didn't work or something on it. Something weird. Oh yeah, this is the POS one. The Walmart POS. You can't make this stuff up. The sticker says Walmart POS-16X. And a POS this thing was, right out of the box. All screwed up. Unbelievable. This still has the original wire tie on it. So we'll just reuse that. Wind Dance. Walmart's POS 16X. Oh, that's great. I'm not sure this one comes apart very easily or not, I don't know. Now this has no identifying information on the unit itself. Where's the model? DS DS1690. Okay, it's supposed to be 1690, and we got 6190. Typical. One 690. Yeah, this isn't great either. I have to hope it doesn't slide off. Should be okay. You know what? I might have to take that base off. Well, that's fine. The only thing that needs to be labeled is the pole, because the base has the model number on it already. Alright, one more unit. And this I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is something that would make sense to try to store it, because it's very kind of a goofy design here. Well, maybe this comes apart. Actually, that's not too bad. But this is so long that it might cancel out the benefits of the storage method that I was going to use. So we'll have to see. It might just make more sense to leave this on display on the other side of the room for now. Now the benefit of doing that is that now we can take all these stands and we can just stack them up like this. So now we can, put 10 or 15 stands together and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then the fan air moving part itself, we can hang on the wall. So it works pretty good. I have probably about 10 or 15 of them already done over on the other side there, which we'll have to get to in a minute. So you'll see how it works. Now I need to clear all this stuff out so that I can get I can move a couple of the shelves over here. Okay, well that already looks a lot better. So now I am going to get some of these shelves over here. So the vacuum, this is a little bit of a convoluted process. The vacuums I got to take out of here and put to the other side. Oh, it's kind of humid over here. I'm going to have to turn on the dehumidifier. It's over 50%. It's a little bit too high. It's not going to work very good though because it's only 63 degrees here. It's going to keep icing up. Starting to accumulate some pretty cool vacuums. I gotta catch up on my vacuum videos. I suppose it would make sense at this point to turn lights on over here. It's not really necessary to take all of these out, but it does make it easier. It only takes a few extra minutes, so we'll do it. Save me a little bit of frustration later on in this process. Okay, that's all the vacuums. Now we gotta take a couple of these items off the top shelves in order to slide the shelves out of here, because it won't clear this beam here. I think that this shelf might beat the breaking. I've never had one of these shelves break before, but this caster is kind of crooked. It doesn't feel weak at all, but it doesn't swivel properly. I'm gonna have to order a replacement one of those. Alright, now I gotta lower the heat because now I'm not gonna turn it off, but it's gonna just kind of idle it. Now that I'm moving around, it feels warm in here. Here's a bunch of cordless phones. Everything down here is to a very, very exact science. And if anything goes back in the wrong spot, it doesn't fit. And this will not clear the fan, so we have to be very careful as we move along here to not hit the fan. Gosh, must be kicking up a lot of dust here. Okay, we have to use a fan. It's not really that warm down here, but we might as well use a fan just for the sake of it. We use this one. This one's not as good as the larger ones, but we use it. You know what I'll do? I'll put it over here, and maybe it'll kind of move some of the heat up to the upstairs. It's kind of cold upstairs. It's very noisy compared to the 18-inch one, which is quite quiet. It moves okay here though. Alright, I think while I have all this stuff out, we're going to do some vacuuming over here. We'll just vacuum up all this junk that's on the floor here. We use this Kenmore machine. I've been using this a lot lately. I quite like these units. But this really could be taller. It's a bit too short. like the garage. I'm very surprised at how clean this room stays. And normally you get all sorts of spiders and things in basements, but this stays pretty clean. And just because I like vacuuming, we'll clean the carpets too, even though I cleaned them recently. Alright, now we got to get to the back to see where the pedestal fans are. Oh, you know what? I wanted to look for something in here. That might have been it, actually. Yeah, I think that was the calculator I was thinking of. It does still work. And the solar panel is actually real. It does not work without the solar panel. So the battery must be spoiled. Okay. We're getting closer now. Okay, this is where we needed to get to, and there is a little bit less space over here than I remembered. We're going to have to do some different formatting. It's still going to fit, it's just getting a little bit full. We're going to need some kind of lighting over here, I think. It's probably too dark on the camera. Yeah. It's not even visible. Okay, let me get some lights. Where is that? Here, there's a clip-on light. The bulb is probably spoiled. Do I have some piece of garbage, random DEO junk, useless bulb I can put in here just for this video? I guess I'll just put a CFL. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Okay, there's the light. And now I gotta get an extension. I think I have one on the other side here. Yep. You know what? I have a stupid DEO in this ceiling fan. Let me grab this stupid DEO. Just because the DEO is vibration resistant. I don't like to use incandescent lights in portable lamps because the vibration burns through the bulbs pretty quick. So we'll just use a stupid DEO for now. And as long as it doesn't cause a flicker in the video. If it causes flicker in the video, then we'll have to switch to the CFL. But the CFL is not really a good application in this either because this doesn't allow the heat to escape from the ballast. If the DEL overheats, I don't really care. I don't like it anyways. Alright, let's stick this up here. This is a pretty cool vintage portable light. Get that extension plugged in. Jeez. Okay, this stupid DEO is working. Okay, so this is what we got here. We have the pedestal fans, the fan part up on top on the wall, and then all the pedestals themselves are down on the bottom. And this works pretty good. It's inconvenient, it's a little bit time consuming to get to them, but in terms of packing as many in as possible into a small space, this does very well. And usually over here, the main goal of storage is to pack as much as we can into a small space. So I'm going to begin packing these in here now, and I'm going to have to go get some more wire out of the garage to hang it from the second beam here. We'll have to hang them down from this. Minor freak show just took place, but nothing broke. Gosh, must be really dusty over here. It probably is. You probably can fit that windmere one over here safely. Yeah, that's fine like that. Or we could even probably put it like this. That's better. Put it like that. Okay. Hopefully the unit itself will fit. And for some reason I left all this in one piece, but I probably shouldn't. How brittle this is, we don't want to put any extra force on this. I'm going to separate this. Alright, I think that was all the stands. Oh, you know what? There was one more that I want to put. I have that best pedestal fan in the world out in the garage. I want to put that one in there too. This might serve as a good range test for these microphones. I gotta go all the way across the house into the garage. I had to turn up the stove a little bit. It's kind of cool in here. It's super windy today. I'm gonna put this back on. Turned everything off to clean the stove, and I just completely neglected to put it back on. While I'm in the garage, I'll grab the wire that we're going to need. And we'll need some screws, and then we'll have to do some thinking to figure out the best way to attach this stuff. Yeah, wind is something else out there. Oh, I can't get this in here. Gotta take this thing apart to get it through this thinking. There we go, got it. Oh no, it's a totally different fan. Why the heck did I think it was the same? That's stupid. Alright, well, I'm going to put these two, I'm going to take these two apart then, because they have nothing to do with each other. I don't know why I thought they were similar. They're not similar at all. Other than the brand, they have nothing to do with each other. This one is the one we're going to put away. I did a checkout on this a while ago when I first got it. And I'll put this one away too. Everybody's favorite pedestal fan. Cool Breeze F-1662. Ugh. I don't know what the model number is of this thing. We'll just label it as the best articulating pedestal fan ever. Now you could potentially take these stands apart and make it even more compact, but I'm not at the point where I want to do that yet. Okay, now we got to think about what to do with the fans, the fan air movement part. I suppose that, I don't know, because they got to go like this way, not like this. This is all set up so that I can simply disconnect this, disconnect it with a hook there, and then it only passes through 2 fans. So all of these are pretty easy to remove, and I'd like to make sure it stays that way. So we got to think about what is the best way to easily undo these. I need to visualize. I'm going to grab a couple fans and see if I can come up with a way that makes sense. I got to fit 2, 4, 7 back here. And I'm sure I will psychotically continue to buy these things, so more in the future. So if this goes up like this, it kind of starts to protrude. An angle like that, it's not so bad. I can probably fit. Oh, I do have 2 of those. Or is that one a little bit different? That one's different. Okay, scratch that. I can definitely put one here like this, and I could put a second one underneath it. So that's 2, and actually I probably could put a 3rd. So we'll need 3 different pieces of wire at different lengths. All right, let's start with that. That's 3. Maybe 2 there, 2 there. We'll get it, but it's going to pretty much fill up this this area. Oh, that's fine. If the area fills up, the area is serving its purpose. So what I will do is I'm undoing the spool of wire here, and I want to measure to see how long does this need to be to go to the bottom, because we'll have them all the way down to the floor here. So I'll put a little black extra for the hook, and then I would say we can put it down to about here. So I'll cut it here, and that was almost catastrophic. So I'm going to cut the wire at that point, and then I'm just going to remove the outer insulating jacket so that we're left with the 4 conductors, and that should be as much wire as we need for this operation. I can't imagine needing more than that, because that really gives us 4 times the length of the wire that we're really looking for. Pretty sure I gotta stop to change the battery soon. Oh yeah, it's down to only 7%. Let's see if we can get through this segment, and then I'll go change it. Kevin put a new blade in this thing, and it's like, holy cow, it works so much better now. I didn't realize how dull it was. Slices right through the wire sheathing now. And we can be kind of reckless because we're not using this wire for electrical purposes. Otherwise you'd have to be careful not to cut the insulation, but in this case it doesn't matter. Kind of fuzzy in there, that's weird. Alright, so here's what we're left with, which is what we needed. So now we'll go put some screws in over there, or we'll throw screws all over the floor. I guess we'll do both. I'll change the battery before we do that. I decided to take a break and go get the apple cider and the apples now. It's supposed to get very stormy later in a couple hours. It's not too bad right now, it's raining, but it's not real windy. I guess it's going to get real windy later. It's been windy this morning and most of the afternoon, but it seems to kind of hit a lull right now. It's too bad this is not raining earlier in the day because there's going to be a ton of blocked drains because of the leaves on the ground. And it's not that cold out, but it's not really a safe activity when the visibility is poor. Yeah, all these drains is blocked. It would have been fun to go around and unclog all the drains, but it's getting too dark. It's already probably past sunset even. Hopefully we make it in time. I kind of lost track of time and left a little bit too late. They store closed in 15 minutes, so we're going to cut it close again like last time. And I gotta go kind of slow today because the leaves is very slippery. We can't get through this light in another couple of sections. We're not going to make it. Hopefully we'll get through this next cycle. Otherwise there's no point. It's cutting it too close. Look at all this flooding here. There's got to be some blocked drains right around here. This is usually the best time of year for blocked drains because the leaves clog everything up. And especially now, it hasn't rained in so long. This stuff hasn't been disturbed in a while, so it's all, you know, rushing over to the drains with this first bit of rain that we've had for a long time. Unbelievable. There's the sirens. That's the medical personnel. Backed up all the way here. Well, that's not good. I don't think we're gonna make it now. Probably gonna take 5 or 10 minutes just to get through this section here, and we don't have that time, so that stinks. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. No shot. This is going to take at least 10 minutes to get through here. You can't really get around this. Well, if I don't make it, I guess we'll go to the... I wasn't gonna, for budgetary reasons, I wasn't gonna go eat out tonight, but I guess if I don't make it here, then I'll go to the Chinese restaurant because it's not that far. This way the trip is not a total waste. This area does not typically move quick, but this is ridiculous. It's not moving at all. I wonder if there's a crash or something. I see something behind us. It's got flashing lights like a tow truck would. I don't know if that's inconsequential or if there's something wrong up here. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to do this again tomorrow. I gotta get the apple cider before Saturday. Well, there's another almost crash. Alright, well I guess we're not going to get the apple cider and the donuts today. Wait, did I move one or two car lengths? That's abysmal. Whoa. What the heck? What is with these people today? That output there is not an entitlement to just blast through here when there's a line of traffic. It doesn't work that way. That's a stop sign on that road. But this wasn't even worth the time to go to the Chinese restaurant. I wouldn't have left the house if I knew it was like this. This is awful. I have a lot of things I gotta do back at home still. I don't know why it's like this. I don't see any crash. It is difficult for there to be traffic here, but not like this. I've never spent this much time here unless there's a problem. I don't know why it's not moving. I can see there's no cars moving. It just stopped. I don't understand what the problem is. Well, this was a waste of the evening. I really don't have time for this. I have several other things I have to do tonight. This is awful. I've never seen this backed up like this. Now it's green, but the traffic is not moving. I don't understand why the traffic is not moving. Yeah, like 2 or 3 cars went and it's just not moving anymore. Screw that, I'm gonna go up this other street here. Something's not right here. I don't know what the problem is. There it goes. It's green again, but it's like 1 car went through. Something's got to be screwed up over there. What a joke. Oh, whoops, this is not what I wanted. Oh, this really is not going well. But sometimes that happens. This is what I wanted here. Oh, this is just as screwed up. Oh, man. Well, I'm just going to keep going over there. Was on that road longer than it would take me to get there and back half the time. Alright, good. This looks pretty clear. Yeah, the apple cider mill is shut now, and we didn't make it. That really stinks. That was a waste of time. Time I didn't have. I gotta do this all over again tomorrow. Oh well. It's ridiculous. What is up with these people today? Ah, jeez, look at all this traffic. What the heck? There's the apple cider mill. It is in fact closed. Just closed a few minutes ago. That's great. Now this rain is getting kind of bad out here. Would not have gone out tonight for this purpose. This is getting pretty bad. Okay, that person indicated left turn and just go straight. I mean, what the heck? What kind of kooky goof nonsense is going on today with these people? Nobody is paying attention to anything. It's not good. It's all flooding on the right side of the road here. I don't like this. I really would not have gone out in this just for doing this. I would have gone out in this to accomplish all the errands, but not ones I don't need to do. This is flaky. You can't be serious. What is wrong with these people tonight? That was outrageous. I don't think I've ever seen this much reckless driving in one trip like this. Oh, there's some good free jump there. I'll have to check that on the way back. It looked like, actually no, I'm not going to go this way on the way back. I'll check it now. The wheel grip looks pretty good, but I don't need another one. If there's any 5-gallon buckets there, I would take that. There's a dehumidifier bucket, but I don't see the dehumidifier. Oh no, I do see the dehumidifier. Looks like a modern garbage one, but let's see. I'll check it. I'm gonna get soaked in the process. Nope, not worth getting soaked over. It's a modern, well, it's on its way to vintage, I suppose. It's one of those silver LG ones from the, probably from the 2010s. If it was a vintage one, I would get soaked over it, but it's not worth getting soaked over. There's an umbrella and an umbrella stand, but I don't really need another. I don't really need another umbrella either. I have enough of those. It looked fine though. Somebody could use it. It's a shame to cancel out good stuff that's workable. I'm soaked just from being outside in those few seconds there. This rain is really heavy. Oh man. Oh, look at that, a tree fell. Yeah, this is goofy. I don't like this. I'm gonna stop at the OKWill just because it's right near the Chinese restaurant to make the trip not a waste. But this is nuts. I would not have gone out in this to go to the OKWill or to go to the Chinese restaurant. I wonder if the lights are gonna go out. There's some pretty strong winds here. Wrong side of the road. Decent sized branch fell there. Now, can't use that space because that person's parked in the middle too, because that's really correct. You know, these people are ridiculous today. What a waste. I'm going to get soaked now because I have to park far away from the building. Look at that trash. That's unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Well, that might be the heaviest rainstorm I've ever been outside in unintentionally. This has got to be 8 or 10 inches an hour rainfall rate. This is crazy. I wish this was happening during the day when I was home so I could see the new gutter set up work properly or failed. If it's raining like this at home, the garage is going to be flooded, so not great. I'm soaked, but I'll dry off, not a big deal. I'm gonna call to a Chinese restaurant, and then we're gonna have to just crawl home, because this is really not safe. Okay, I just called the order, turn the dome light off, and we gotta put the what do you call it, window fog remover thing on, because it's getting all foggy. And it's not that cold out, but I think I might put on heat just to dry off a little bit. So I got some cool fans, so this is not a loss, but I would not have gone out in this kind of weather just for no reason. I am drenched. I have to go into the restaurant, probably dripping with water. So I got a Doorcraft fan. I got a, this, no, that was the other one. Scratch that. We're remembering incorrectly. So we got a Doorcraft fan, a Holmes box fan, a 90s model. I have a lot of nostalgia to those. Not this exact variant, but there was another variant of this in my 5th grade classroom, I think it was. And I remember that one vividly, so I kind of like those Holmes box fans. The blade looked like it was in good shape, so if nothing else, I can swap the blade with this one and the actual one that I like. Not that I don't like this one, but I like the other one better, so we got that. There was a wind mirror, a circulating fan, which was half off, so I got that. I like that model, and it's a very quiet fan. And there's a door craft fan that I got, another neat 90s model, one of the less common ones. And then I got an audio monitor for a particular reason that we'll get into that in a separate video of it. And wow, look at that water coming down. Wow. Dang, I wish this was during the day so I could see the water. And then I also got a Christmas stocking, which is soaking wet. So, not bad. Not worth risking, you know, crashing the car because it's, people are driving nutty because it's raining, but oh well. There was a bunch of other fans there I didn't get. There was a Hampton Bay, I don't know if it was a Reddington or something like that from the 90s. Missing mounting bracket, missing the light globes. But the blades were there, the irons were there. It was in reasonable condition. It was $20. I felt that was kind of steep for something incomplete. Maybe I'll grab it if it happens to go on sale for the color of the week, half off, whatever. There was a LASKO 3733 in the box. And then there was which I would have gotten if it was super filthy just to clean it up. And then re-donate it. And then there was also, there was also, that's why you gotta go slow when it's raining. If I was going normal traffic speed, that would have been a complete crash wipeout right there. There was also 2 window fans under a brand I wasn't familiar with. I took a picture of them, and I probably won't even have to cancel out the audio because it was raining so heavy, it was so loud in the store that you couldn't even hear the stupid copyright music. What else was there? There was a couple of battery operated 05 cooler, the heck it is, fans. And then there was one of those Home Depot 9-inch fans in the box. Not sure what year version it was, but I didn't get that because they're not very collectible and I already have them. So yeah, a lot of fans there today, more so than usual. I guess it kind of makes sense because now it's turning cold. Everybody's throwing out their fans because nobody wants to clean them, so they all end up at thrift store, and then I clean them. This Christmas stuff was severely lacking though at this particular location. There was a couple of trees. There was one I liked, but it was half broken and it was $70. That's ridiculous. You know, if it was $10, fine, you know, but $70 for a busted up tree is cuckoo. Really? There's parking lot. You couldn't just go an extra 3 feet and go into parking lot? Duh. There's another flood right there. Oh man, if it rained like that at home, the garage is gonna be soaking wet. It's gonna be a swimming pool in there. Well, maybe it didn't rain like that at home. I don't know. Look at these sodium lights over here. I remember when this whole parking lot was sodium lights. Actually, it wasn't that long ago that these all got changed out. Let's see, we have to get soaked again? Yep, we're gonna have to get soaked again. There are no spaces anywhere near this store. Well, it's not raining as heavy anymore, so it's not as bad. What I will try to do is, I'll try to at least go somewhere near the store, and then I can just go under the overhang to the store I want to go to. 40 cents a can, so it's just sitting right there. Well, it looks like everybody else. Oh, there we go. Perfect, I'll get this other space. What a bunch of dysfunctional nonsense is going on right now. But at least it'll work in my favor. Here we go, perfect. I am the soaked. The rain's letting up a little bit, but we're still going to have to go real slow because there could be flooding anywhere, and you can't see it this time of day anymore. This is really quite the hazard. Well, it might be a late night tonight between the other things I have to do that I didn't get to do before, and cleaning up water. Unless it didn't rain like that at home. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. I moved most everything off of the floor in the garage that's not like well, the stuff that's on the floor still shouldn't get wet, but if it gets wet it's not a big deal. I took everything that's in like a cardboard box and so forth off the floor. The carpet's still down, so that might be a mess. Yeah, this is pretty bad. There's like no visibility. Yep, there you go. There's a puddle right there. You can't even see it. I think I might pull over and let these people go in front of me, because then I can see from whoever those other people are driving what's on the road. Otherwise I'm going to have to go this speed the whole way and people are going to get mad. Oh, that's too bad. This is what's safe. Actually, the person behind me is leaving plenty of space. Maybe I should just leave it alone. No, I can tell there's flood right here. coming out of that driveway. Nah, I lost the people behind me. They're not coming this way. Rats. Some blinding DELs in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Blinding DELs. Great. I'm surprised how slow everybody else is driving as well. That's unusual. I'm only going 30 and the person behind me is staying way back. Normally you can go like 60 or 70 on this road. I think I can see some water across the road here. Let's see what happens if these other people go through. No, I guess it was just an illusion. There's some water there. Whoa. Nope, that's why you gotta go slow. I'm just kind of staying in the middle of the road until somebody comes, because the roads are usually like slanted off to the sides, so in the middle it's not going to flood, but the last couple of feet in from the side can hold water sometimes if it's a blocked drain, or the leaves built up against the curb or something and the water's not running off. Yeah, this is pretty bad. There shouldn't be any water for the next bit of road because it's going uphill. At least I've never seen water pool on a hill before, but I suppose you never know. Guess there could be leaves holding up or something somewhere. Now we're approaching the closed apple cider mill. Closed. Great. That is such a good apple cider mill. This is a condition where good street lights are very helpful, because the street lights will illuminate the road itself better than the car does, and from a further distance. I can see that there's no water here from that street light. And now I really can't tell if there's water on the road or not. picked up on the video, but I can see this section of the road perfectly. Probably can't really see on the video because the window is all wet. Okay, we're back home now. I don't think it rained too much here. It's about 1.5 inches on the rain gauge, and I don't see any evidence of really major flooding in the yard. There's a little bit of water in the garage, but nothing unreasonable. Okay, I need to find the squeaky stool. I need the squeaky stool to screw in some wire, or screw in some wires. Screw in the screws to hang the wires on. I think that the squeaky stool is in the garage still. No, it's not. It's right here. Let's try not to wreck the place. Here's the squeaky stool. The wobbly stool. Okay, so I guess what we'll do to start is I'll put a screw here, and we can hang 1, 2, and potentially 3 fans from there. Okay, so what we'll do to start is we'll put a loop up here at the top. I'm gonna need some 9s to bend this securely because this is 12 gauge wire. It's a little difficult to manipulate by hand. Okay, so that will go up there, and then it'll just hang the fee in. I think that it should go like this. Yeah, we'll do it just like that. So we'll take it down, we'll cut it about here. So we'll just kind of pass this through like this. And fortunately this has a metal front guard at least, so we have something to kind of secure it to. That's good enough, that'll hold. We'll just stick this up here like that. Okay, that's fine for the first one, but that is useless for any of the ones further. Right. And the screw's in so far that I can't add another. Actually, you know what might make more sense? I didn't think of this initially. I wonder if I should just put hooks on the ceiling. And then could I just hook? I could do one more here. I could just hook it on the ceiling like that. Yeah, I could do that. I should get one more hook. Or I should get one hook and not one more. Just one hook and put it like that. In fact, what might work best for that use case is that wind mirror with the long plastic post. That might be the best thing for there. Yep, that'll fit really nicely there. Okay, so I have to get some hooks to work with this. Well, it can almost go all the way back. I bet I can just get a long screw and screw it into the back of that beam there and just kind of let it hang like that. Let me see what I got for long screws here. Actually, let's see. No, maybe what I'll do is I'll put a screw there and then just use a piece of wire. in order to use the hook, I'd have to get a very large hook, and that would just be kind of a waste of the hook, because the hook would be able to hold a lot more weight than that. Okay, so I'm just going to put this screw in here like this. I'll put it at a slight angle so that it can grab the, actually, let's see. I'll put it here. If we get lucky, we might be able to just hook this right on there, but I don't think so. Yeah, not quite. So we'll have to just use I'm not sure this is going to work exactly the way I had envisioned. It's really not working the way I had envisioned. And sometimes that happens. It could go like this though, that would work I think. Just kind of sit it in here like this. So we just need a longer piece of wire than about an arm's length. Right on the handle. Actually, no, better than the handle. I'm just going to pass it through the top of the guard there. I want it to sit right like that. Perfect. That's pretty good like that. Okay. Now I've created a dilemma over here because maybe I can strap it to the, can I just strap it to the shelf maybe? That is a possibility. I might be able to just strap it to the shelf if I can get the angle right. I guess it's inconsequential if it's like that or like this because I can't fit another one there anyways. Alright, that should be good like that. So we got that one there, that one there. Now we should be able to put another one here, at least one more here, maybe one here. What's getting difficult now is to get this wire to hang in the right place without throwing other stuff off. So maybe what I can do, let me get another one to look at it. Let's see, we have 1, 2, we only have 4 left. Okay, that's not as many as I thought. For some reason I thought we had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them left still. What I think I can do is I'd be able to put one like this here. A little dodgy here. I could put this like this and hang the wire down. So that's another arm's length that I need. I gotta fix this wind dance. It's a nice wind mirror product. I like those. Well, I guess wind mirror is another OEM. Is not an OEM either. I've got 3 more pieces of wire. This should be enough. I got a Duracraft I'm going to turn this Doorcraft on just for a minute to reorientate the oscillation because it's not flat with the unit and I'd like it to be. Okay, good. I can't wait to use fans again at Christmas time. We didn't get to use fans too much this year. We got cut short very, very early on. Actually didn't get to use air conditioners much this year either. It was an extremely short summer. One of the shortest I can think of. Wind Dance. Okay, that's gonna be a pain in the neck. We'll do it a different way then. Put this up here first. And we know we want it right about there, so we'll cut this down here. Oh, come on. I didn't really want this to be crooked like that, but I guess it doesn't matter. Is there a way to put it so that it's not going to be crooked? Perfect. Okay, so we can put another one up here, and then we can put another one here. Since this has a cheesy plastic grill, I wonder if we can just set it like this. Yeah, that works. So we could probably fit another 1, 2, 3, probably 5 to 6 pedestal fans over here. I only need to fit 2 more in this particular session. Then I'll be done with this task. We have a door craft and an SMC. This is a nice fan. And these are all nice fans, but some of them I like a little more than others. I like this one a lot too, Dora Craft. This is not a nice fan. Alright, so let's see, how is this going to work best? I think like that is best. And then the SMC, I might be able to just hang off the shelf here. I think so. Alright, good. This might wrap up easily. We need another screw, right? Yep. Last screw that we'll need for this operation. Even that's probably too long. Just needs to be very, very short for this. Okay, that's pretty good. Now this one, this gets tricky because now I can't drop a wire down from here because then this will get all screwed up. So we'll have to just kind of hook this one to the shelf over here like this. Okay, I think that works. Okay, that's pretty efficient use of the space. It's quite compact. And I can even still fit a few more. Of course, the drawback is this is very difficult to get one out when I want to use it, but there's really no way to avoid that. The tighter you pack it, the more difficult it becomes, and that's just the way it is. So, oh well. But that was a mission success. To go cancel out the sleeve for that wiring. And then we'll vacuum a little bit over there before I put these shelves back. Although it's still pretty clean, all things considered over here. It's not bad. Just give another check to make sure everything's solid. Yeah, I think so. Pretty content with the way all this is. Except for this one. This is loosening up. There. Now it's not going to loosen up. Cool. That's that. Alright, so we'll vacuum and then we can put all this stuff back. The brush roll is on. Now it's off. Now we're going to put all the shelves back. Everything fits pretty good over here. No problems. Good. Oh, I lost the ordering in which this is supposed to go. And now we have a semi-problem here. Oh, that'll work. Definitely not the way it was though.